Howard J. Ross, Everyday Bias, Identifying and Navigating Unconscious Judgments in Our Daily Lives. In Everyday Bias, Howard J. Ross examines the deep-rooted, unconscious judgments that shape our everyday actions, impacting our decisions, and perpetuating societal inequalities. Ross explores the evolutionary reasons behind bias, while also covering the influential environmental factors that mold our judgments. Throughout the book, Ross contends that by accepting our biases and becoming aware of their presence, individuals and organizations can begin to tackle them, leading to more rational decision-making and a reduction in systemic inequality.
The power of hidden biases. Biases are a natural part of being human, and almost everyone has them. However, these hidden biases in our unconscious minds can greatly influence our decisions, often without us realizing it. Studies have shown that biases can contribute to disparities and injustices in areas such as the workplace, healthcare, and criminal justice. While progress has been made in combating discrimination and promoting tolerance, biases still persist in society. The key is to increase awareness of our own biases and work to confront them. By doing so, we can lessen their power over our actions and create a more equitable world. Understanding human biases. This book's summary explains how human biases are a result of our evolutionary history to survive in a dangerous world and highlights the importance of being aware of them. The human brain has a tendency to categorize people, animals, and things quickly as safe or unsafe, friend or foe. These snap judgments are a result of our ancestors' need to sense danger instantly and react accordingly to survive in a dangerous world. Although biases cause mischief, their presence makes sense in evolutionary terms. Therefore, biases are still ingrained in our brains today, and we unconsciously size up strangers based on superficial cues such as their clothes or accents. Becoming more aware of our biases can help us deal with them more effectively. One way to disidentify with our biases is to expose ourselves to people and groups who we harbor biases against. Personal experience is not the only source of biases. Cultural standards and norms also reinforce biases, and media outlets often affirm political biases. In conclusion, this book's summary stresses the importance of being aware of our biases and understanding their origins to prevent them from impeding our decision-making processes and relationships. How your brain forms biases. Our brain filters reality to create biases, including selective attention, confirmation bias, and pattern recognition. Selective attention helps us navigate a world full of stimuli. Confirmation bias leads us to seek out information that supports our preconceptions, while pattern recognition enables our brains to discern repeating patterns in experiences. Our brains may fail to process information that doesn't fit into pre-existing templates, resulting in faulty assumptions and interpretations. Business leaders should be aware of these biases and actively work to counter them when making decisions. The power of controlling biases. Controlling biases can revolutionize decision-making, widen talent pools, and enrich educational experiences. Society's approach of suppressing biases only leads to defensiveness, guilt, and denial. Acknowledging and increasing awareness of biases is more productive. Unconscious influences dominate our daily lives, and bringing hidden biases to light can reduce their power. Professional basketball referees' bias was diminished after researchers found and publicized it, leading to a significant decrease in the discrepancy. Cultivating awareness to overcome hidden biases. Shed light on your hidden biases and take back control by practicing self-awareness and understanding the root of your biases. Everyone has biases, and it's normal to have them. Denying or feeling guilty about them only hinders progress. Instead, accepting their universality creates room for growth. One way to identify individual biases is by taking the online implicit association test and reflecting on personal life experiences. Examining the culture and institutions one grew up in also helps to recognize the root of a particular bias. Once the root is identified, reframing the thought process and seeking stories of people who overcame similar biases helps to overcome it. Observing oneself replaces automatic thinking with focus on the present moment's reaction to the world. Consequently, catching knee-jerk reactions in action becomes easier, enabling modification of behavior. Uncertainty signals danger in the brain, and automatic responses are a way to reduce uncertainty quickly. However, practicing constructive uncertainty is a way to diffuse programmed responses by analyzing the situation and differentiating between events and personal interpretations of them. Choosing the most constructive way to handle the event and putting it into action is an empowering and productive way to handle bias. Uncomfortable moments often lead to the fight or flight response from past events instead of looking at the current situation objectively. Pausing and discerning if the reaction is to the present situation or past events allows for better evaluation and understanding. Learning about other groups' culture and history is an excellent way to lessen negative feelings. Building relationships with someone from a disliked group is another way to break down stereotypes and create new perspectives. Relying on the way one feels about the situation may not be the best way to gauge if a response is proper. Feedback and measurable data provide a better way to assess the effectiveness of an action. In conclusion, by recognizing one's biases, practicing self-awareness, and understanding the root of the bias, one can take back control from unconscious reactions. Overcoming collective biases. Every organization has collective biases that affect decision-making in different areas. Businesses must learn to recognize these biases and implement mechanisms to lead to rational decision-making. One way to combat unconscious bias is through blind additions, such as those implemented by symphony orchestras to address gender underrepresentation. Other organizations can use similar tactics to manage bias effectively. Instead of encouraging political correctness, organizations should teach their team members how to recognize biases and their effects on performance and work towards mitigating those biases. Knowing not to believe everything you think is a good start towards managing biases. Examining business bias. Examine your business for bias, identify patterns of discrimination through surveys and data sources, and interview former employees for feedback. Avoid numerical evaluations and adopt a narrative approach to evaluations that focuses on improvement. Small-scale anti-bias interventions can have a significant impact. A largely unconscious tendency exists within people to perceive themselves positively, making it impossible to achieve complete removal of biases.
Ross's Everyday Bias is an insightful look into how unconscious judgments govern our daily interactions and perpetuate inequality. By understanding the evolutionary reasons behind biases and identifying environmental factors that influence them, individuals and organizations can take actionable steps towards mitigating their impacts. From cultivating self-awareness to fostering dialogue with diverse groups, Ross provides a roadmap for addressing unconscious biases and escaping the trap of political correctness. Engaging with such biases in a productive manner will lead to fairer decision-making and opportunities for everyone, ultimately fostering a more inclusive society.